Hey class, Absolute 5 here, and today we're going to talk about simplifying algebraic expressions today. So let's see, simplifying algebraic expressions. Now what the heck does that mean? Well, let's see. You want to first identify a variable and a term and a number, which here this is a variable. And this number can mean a constant or integer. Either one, same thing. Let's see, same idea. Now, we need to talk about this term here. Let's say I have a number in front of the variable, right? This number means a numerical coefficient. That's what we call a number in front of a variable. It means a numerical coefficient. Instead of calling it that number, it's a numerical coefficient. Okay? So now I'm trying to go down. Come back up. Alright, so now what are we doing? So when we're doing algebraic expressions, right? We're trying to understand that this is a statement. This is not a complete thought, but it's a statement. And when you're doing these types of concepts, you also have to do distributive property. So what are you allowed to do with distributive property? I'm allowed to do distributing the terms with each other. So, for example, let's say I had let's say I have x times 7 plus 2. I'm allowed to do 7x plus 2x, which you can combine those two to become 9x, or you can just simply combine 7 plus 2 to become x times 9, which is simply 9x. You still get the same answer anyway. Or x times 9, same answer. So let's go forward with an algebraic expression. In algebraic expression is simplified when all like terms have been combined. It's great. So let's try a different one. Let's say I have y minus 5y. You can take the y in front of this as 1y minus 5, which is simply be negative 4y, or you can just simply subtract normally. What about if I had 8m minus 14m? That would be negative 6m. You see where I'm going with this? So essentially, you're not really solving for the variable, you're just cleaning up the work. That's why we tend to simplify algebraic expressions more than actually solve them. Okay. What is very key to remember that whenever you're solving algebraic expression is that there's a bunch of properties that incorporate this. Whenever you're trying to simplify these expressions, you have to remember you always have these rules following you no matter where you go in mathematics. So remember, for addition and multiplication properties, which are associativity, commutativity, distributive for multiplication, all those rules are in here. All those rules are in here, okay? So, for example, if I were to ask you to simplify 2y minus 6 plus 4y plus 8, So now, when you see something like this, you're kind of like, how do I really do this problem? This looks like a pretty big mess. So remember, you're allowed to use the law of commutativity. I'm just pointing for sure because I don't have space. So commutativity, meaning I get to reorder this however I like it to be. So I'm going to group the y's with the y's and the numbers with the numbers. So I get 2y plus 4y minus 6 plus 8, or better yet, instead of doing it that way, plus 8 minus 6. 6. So now I could combine like terms very easily to get 6y plus 2 as my answer. Sorry. So let's try another one. Let's say this example, I gave you 4x plus 2 minus 5x plus 3. Same idea, you want to reorder everything. So I get 4x minus 5x plus 2 plus 3. I'm going to subtract the 4 minus 5, gives me negative 1x plus 5 or negative x plus 5. Either way, your answer is correct. So now, let's do one more. Well, actually, no. Let's try to understand multiplying expressions. Multiplying expressions. So what do I mean by multiplying expressions? Let's say I have 5 times 3y, which gives me 15y. You're only multiplying the numbers with the numbers when you have this type of scenario. So you multiply the number with the coefficient, which is 5 times 3 is 15, and then you leave the y alone. Now, what happens if I gave you this example? What if I said you had negative 2 times, sorry, it's negative 2 times 4x, I'd get negative 8x, okay? What about this one? What about negative 3 times 5a plus 2? Well, you'd get, this rule, you're allowed to distribute the negative 3 into both these two terms. So negative 3 times 5 would be negative 15a, and then negative 3 times positive 2 would be negative 6, and that would be your answer. Let's do one more distributive one. 8 times x minus 4. So you could distribute it the way how I did it, or you can distribute it as 8 times x, you can do it as, no, either way, same thing. 8 times x plus 8 times negative 4, which will give you 8x, let me write it down here since I don't have space. 8x minus 32 is your answer. So we'll do one hard one, and then I'll give you one example for homework for you guys to do on your own. Okay, let's do one hard one. So let's do negative 2 times x minus 5 plus 4 times 2x plus 2. Okay, so now this one's a big one, so let's take it one step at a time. When you see the parentheses, you want to do those first. Can you do anything, this is plus. Can you do anything in the parentheses? No, because they're not like terms. You cannot combine like terms because they are different, okay? So I'm going to distribute both the 2 here in the x to the negative 5, and I'm going to distribute the 4 in the 2x and the 2. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 5, so negative times negative is positive 10. And here there's no sign, so I don't have to worry about that. So 4 times 2x is positive 8x, and then 4 times 2 is 8. Now we're going to group like terms because we're not finished. It's still a mess. So therefore I get 8x minus 2x plus 10 plus 8. I get 6x plus 18 as my final answer. So you see, homework, I want you to do negative 7x minus 1 plus 5. Sorry, I gotta erase that. Plus 5 times 2x plus 3 as your final, why am I saying your final answer? That's your homework. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say leave your answer down in the comments down below. And that's the lesson for you guys. Excuse me. That's the lesson for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Be sure to leave me any comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. This has been Absolute 5. I'm Roger Palomino. Math is infinite because there are infinitely many possibilities. And don't forget, don't hate, calculate.